Hey, Brandon here. Welcome to the channel and thanks for tuning in. Got episode 5 of a new series I have here on the channel, Rookie versus Rookie. And I have to say, the reaction to me putting these on the channel have been great. So I appreciate everyone who's been watching them. And if this is your first time here, welcome. So we got episode 5. All right. I've done Burden versus Igbuka, Hampton versus Johnson, Hunter versus McMillan, Henderson versus Judkins. So go feel free to roam the channel and go back and see them. And today, man, we got Skattebo versus Devin Neal. This is going to be a fun one because arguably after the top 3 or 4, we're going to teardrop. And these are the guys you're going to be looking at later in the first round of your drafts, early second round rookie drafts. All right, so I'm going to put a scenario out there. Genty, Henderson, Judkins, Johnson, Hampton, all off the board. Like I said, there's a teardrop, and then you're staring at Skattebo and Neal. Who are you going to select in your rookie drafts, all right? Who have you watched film on? Well, I've gotten that taken care of for you. I've been watching all 22 film on these two guys for a while. We don't have landing spots, right? That's not going to happen for quite some time. So we're going to take a look at the film. I've watched the film on these guys, all right? But before we get to the film and my grades on all of that, let's go through some 2024 production statistics as well as some PFF statistics. All right, so let's get right into it, man. All right, so rushing yards and touchdowns, pretty evenly across the board. 1,300 for Skattebo. We got 1,200 for Neal, 5.8 average for Neal. Skattebo 5.6, 17 touchdowns, 16 touchdowns. Pretty even across the board. Receiving yards and touchdowns, Skattebo led all running backs that are headed to the NFL draft in receiving yards. Second after him was actually Omarion Hampton. So these PFF rushing grades that you see here, what I've done is I've taken all the PFF stats and I've excluded everyone who's not going to the NFL draft. So I have 25, 30 running backs. So these ranks that you see on the screen are based on the top 25 running backs headed to the 2025 NFL draft. All right. And out of those 2025 running backs, man, Skattebo at the top in receiving yards. Neal's no slouch himself, 24 receptions, 266 yards, and had a TD himself. PFF rushing grades, 92.6. Skattebo coming in number 2 out of the 25 top running backs headed to the draft, and 89.9 ranked 6th for Neal. All right, yards after contact 3.91, ranked 9th for Skattebo. Neal 3.73, pretty close. Missed tackles forced 33% of the time. Skattebo was making a guy miss. He ranked 2nd in the class with 81 total on the season. Devin Neal ranked 17th, only 21% of the time did he make a guy miss, and he had a total of 46. All right, explosive runs, 10 plus yards per attempt, 15% of the time. Skattebo's breaking one off, and 16% of the time too, Devin Neal. So it's pretty close there, 38, 35 respectively. We got our elusive rating, 131, ranked 3rd in the class, all right, for Skattebo, and Devin Neal, 84.2. So a big discrepancy in that number. So love comparing these statistics one-on-one. That's part of this series. The fun of this series is to take a look and see how these guys stack up. All right, so let's get to the fun, the meat and potatoes of it. All right, I've watched the all 22 film on Skattebo, the Iowa State film breakdown. I put a breakdown on this channel, so go take a look at that, where I kind of break down his entire game play by play, which I love to do versus just watching highlight films. And his Texas game, I recorded too, where I think he won the MVP. I put that on my NFL Big Boards subscription service. Wouldn't let me put it on YouTube here. I guess they had some rights on that, but they denied me, so I put that in the subscription. All right. So in Kansas, all right, for Devin Neal, I watched his game versus Kansas State, Colorado, and TCU. All right. And then I've got a bunch of films from 2023. All right. So let's take a look at both of these running backs. All right. Should have mentioned their size at the beginning of the show. Skattebo, 5'11", 215. I'm not buying the 5'11". He's looking like more like 5'9" to me. He might be bigger than 215. I'm not sure. He's a pretty big guy. Devin Neal, 5'11", 215. Both seniors, both 4-year players. Skattebo could be 5th year. I'm not sure. But all right, so I've watched the film extensively on these guys. I love grinding film, man. That is what I do. And if you want access to these all 22 films, check out the website at the bottom of the screen here. It's $25 a year to basically come. I've cut up all 22 films of all your favorite rookies, man. Each and every week I'm posting new films. It is like buying me a case of beer, man. It's like going to a friend's party and bringing in a 30-pack of Miller Lights, right? That is all it's going to cost you for 1 year of access access to not only just the all 22 film breakdowns, but I got ranks based on 2026 rookies and 2027 rookies already, and starting to take a look at the 2028 class. So yeah, we get a little nutso and go a little deep. All right, but let's go through it. These are my scouting report grades after watching the film. I'm going to talk briefly about this, and then, of course, I'm going to tell you who I would pick if I'm on the clock staring at these two guys, if I need a running back, but we'll get to that in just a minute. All right, scouting report card, vision and patience. All right, man, I think both of these guys are really good navigators of the line of scrimmage. Devin Neal has good cutback ability, really good vision, has patience. Both of these guys let their blocks set up, so I really gave them both high grades. Leaning a little bit on Neal, his vision is really good, especially when he presses the line of scrimmage and it's starting to kind of, he's got gap discipline, but he's got to pivot and readjust and find another length that ain't just working out. The offensive line isn't opening up the holes. But Cam Skattebo is no slouch himself in this trait, man. Vision is a hallmark trait of any good running back. These guys have got to navigate through the line of scrimmage, and not everything is going to work out as planned. So they've got to redirect and find a new way in a lot of cases. So they're both high grades, but I'm going to lean Neal on this particular trait. All right, my sweet feet meter, lateral agility. Okay, they both got B's. I'm going to lean B plus with Devin Neal. Okay, he's a little bit more spry. He's got a little bit more athleticism, I think, than Cam Skattebo, in the ability to redirect, maybe stop a little bit, and pivot and readjust. And so their lateral agility is really important, man. You've got to be able to sidestep a guy that missed tackles forced. We saw Cam Skattebo and how good his numbers were, on that ranking, second in the class. But anyway, I gave them both really good grades on that. Acceleration and long speed, gotta lean Devin Neal on this. Now, I gave him a B, and there's going to be a lot of people out there. I see a lot of scouting reports out there that they're talking about Devin Neal has got this like breakaway speed and all that, and I just don't see it on the field. I think both of these guys can accelerate good through the line of scrimmage. I don't think either of these guys are home run hitters by any means. On the films that I've watched, they both on long runs have gotten caught from behind. So by no means are they burners. But that's okay, because for me, scouting running backs, I want to look at how they navigate the line of scrimmage. I want to see how they accomplish the first 5, 6, 7, 8 yards. If they've got that breakaway speed and can, take it to the house, well, that's just icing on the cake for me. But I think they're both good accelerators when they make their decision that they want to go through the line of scrimmage and they navigate through their way. But their long speed, they both are not going to be burners. And I don't think we would expect them to, given their size. All right, these aren't going to be blazing speed. I mean, to be 215 and be a home run hitter, you are a special athlete. These guys are not that special athletes. Good players, but they don't have those elite traits when it comes to that skill set. All right, strength and contact balance. Dude, I mean, if you've watched Cam Skattebo play, which I'm sure you have, there is no way I'm not leaning an A+ for the strength and contact balance. That guy is a physical specimen, a physical beast. He loves to punish people. And Devin Neal, I got a B-, man. This is where my big discrepancy is between these players. You watch the film on Devin Neal. He runs with a little bit of high pad level. He gets knocked back a lot. He does not move piles forward. And I'm not going to lie, that is a little concerning for me. Physicality is a trait that I value higher than most people watching running backs, wide receivers. Man, you have got to be tough to play in the NFL. You've got to have the good pad level. You've got to punish people out there. Both of these guys have the ability to make guys miss, but they're both going to win because of their bigger frames. I think more on physicality than dancing and dancing through the line of scrimmage. So I am a clear Skattebo guy here when it comes to strength and contact balance, man. I'm telling you, this guy is a bruiser, good contact balance. Devin Neal's contact balance is okay, but he goes down relatively quickly from when I watch the films that I've watched, and I've been watching this kid play for 4 years playing Devy fantasy football. It's been my thing with him is his physicality, pad level, and his tenacity as a runner. Not sure it equals Cam Skattebo. In fact, I'm not sure it really comes even close. All right. And again, that's just my point, my humble point of view. All right. Receiving ability, I'm going to lean Skattebo as well. Like I said, he is leading the running backs in going to the NFL draft in receiving yardage. The guy has just been dynamic, and they both are very good pass catchers out of the backfield. Both of these guys are going to bring bring their A games. I think Cam Skattebo had 48 on the season, and I think Devin Neal had 24, 45 to 24. So Cam Skattebo, as you guys saw, if you were watching that Texas game, the Iowa State game, the last 2 games of the season, he was being used all over the place, had some vertical plays. Devin Neal, like I said, is no slouch at all when it comes to catching the ball. So I'm going to lean Skattebo with an A grade, but receiving ability, I'm giving a B plus to Neal. He is not far behind. All right, expected draft capital. I'd like to throw this in here. I think they're both possibly round 3 guys, but I'm going to say day 3, early day 3 guys. I'm talking about early round 4. Now, if there's a big run in other positions, and I mean, it's a deep running back class. So if there's teams out there that have a need and have to fill another need out there in round 2 and 3, they may be like, okay, well, I like this back, but man, I like 5 or 6 and I know I can get in the 4th round. We might see the running backs maybe get passed on early because of the depth of the class. But anyway, I think round 3 or 4 is where both of these guys are going to come. I do not think that either of these running backs are going to be starters day 1. They are going to be complementary pieces to a backfield. So Cam Skattebo is like a kind of a fun player comp. I'm looking at a Ray Davis type who, is playing for the Bills right now. We saw him pop this past weekend in the playoff game a little bit. So, smaller stature, but a guy that could pass out of the backfield, make some guys miss, has that low center of gravity, good physicality. And Devin Neal, the big question when I watch Devin Neal is to say, is he going to be a Chase Brown or is he going to be Condre Miller? And I really don't know. I think he's going to be very landing spot dependent. Both of these, landing spots mean a lot. I've always been a guy that says landing spots matter, and I really, really feel that way. Opportunities, everything. Condre Miller, if he ended up on the Cincinnati Bengals instead of Chase Brown, he may be the guy who's getting production right now. So that landing spot means a lot. The one thing I like too about Cam Skattebo is just his personality. I don't know Devin Neal, we don't know that, but man, you see the tenacity and the grind that Skattebo has on the field. Man, he is going to be, he's going to be a guy that people are going to want to play around. For sure. Okay. So I don't know. Maybe I'm tipping my hat to who I would want to play or to who I'm going to select. But if I'm on the clock and I'm looking at Cam Skattebo, Devin Neal, let's put a scenario out there that they both got good landing spots. They should get on the field. The opportunity's there, but is their skill set going to get them on the field? That remains to be seen. But if I had to take one player, let's hear the drum roll. I'm going Skattebo, and there's 2 reasons why. My main reason is I love physical football players, and I think you have to have a certain tenacity to play in this game, the ability to want to punish people, take physicality, take the hits, get up. And Cam Skattebo, man, is just you've got to be one of the toughest running backs in this class. And like I said, the intangibles, I think people are really going to like, wanting to play with a guy. And he's going to put the work in, the ethic and everything. And I think these guys both have the ability to move laterally pretty good. But again, the other thing about Cam Skattebo is, man, I love his receiving profile a lot. And from, again, we're looking through this through a dynasty fantasy football lens, right? Which one of these guys do we think is going to get on the field and produce for fantasy for us? It remains to be seen. We really don't know. Like we said, we don't have the landing spots, but if I had to pick a guy, I'm going Cam Skattebo between these players. Devin Neal's runs high and doesn't show that tenacity and punishing ability when he's getting tackled and at the contact point. And that has me a little concerned. I've been scouting running backs for a long time. And when I see a guy not put the shoulder down and not want to give a lick instead of always kind of trying to protect himself, and, not saying he does that all the time, but Cam Skattebo is just a football player inside and out. And I think that physicality with those receiving chops is going to get him my winner for this rookie versus rookie episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, this is my episode 5. I'm going to be doing one of these episodes each and every week, so hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to get to 20,000 subscribers by the NFL draft. Help me get there. It doesn't cost you anything to hit that subscribe button. Go back and take a look at the films. I got all sorts of great content on here, mock drafts, film breakdowns, and player profiles and scouting reports, helping you get ready for your rookie drafts. Thanks for watching.